Hello there, AVID Juniors. Welcome back to week 5. We are going to be jumping into some college research this week. But first, we need to take care of the changes that are happening this week with scheduling and such. So here's what's going on. Monday and Tuesday, there are not going to be any of the check-in meeting for any of your classes here at Castle Park. Monday, there won't be a meeting with this class. Obviously, we don't meet on Tuesdays anyway. And then on Wednesday, which is typically your day anyway, we will meet. We're going to meet with the seniors. We're going to combine it into one class for the week. We're going to do some AVID elections on Wednesday. And I will spend some, I don't think I'm going to need to talk to the seniors too much about what they need to do this week. So the majority of Wednesday's class will be for you to go over these assignments and answer any questions that you might have. But I am shortening the work a little bit this week because of the shortened deal with classes so that you can get it all done. There is one assignment that you definitely need to get done this week. So how they're doing attendance for Monday is they're asking the teachers to give an assignment to the students that you have to get done by Friday. And then if you get it done by Friday, they go back on Monday and mark you present. If you don't get it done by Friday, then they go back on Monday and mark you absent. And so that assignment for us is going to be a Jupyter message with study buddy contact. And I'm going to go over that in just a second. But all I need you to do by Friday is to do a Jupyter message through a study buddy. And that way I know that you've made a connection. We'll get to it. The other thing that's going on this week is open house. You've probably seen some things about that. So they set up the open house schedule that it's Monday through Thursday. I think it's like periods 1 and 2 on Monday from 8:20 in the morning till like 9 o'clock. And then Tuesday, it's like periods 3 and 4 from 8:20 to 9 o'clock. And then Wednesdays, periods 5 and 6 from 8:20 to 9 o'clock. And then Thursday, I think is 0 and 7th period. Look, I can only imagine, we've talked about this. I can only imagine what is going on with your lives because I know what's going on with my life. And I would imagine parents, as wonderful as they are, willing to jump in on a conference and listen to me talk for 10 to 15 minutes at 8:20 in the morning about stuff they either know, they probably have a job, they're taking care of kids, they're doing other things that are very important. So what you're going to get from me for open house is I'm going to shoot a separate video. I'm going to send it to everybody in the class, all your parents, so that they can watch the video and know how this class runs. Which I think is kind of redundant because I send you a video just like this every week to explain how the class runs. But, you know, I'll send them that video as well. So if your parents are asking about open house for Mr. Charlton's class, just say, Mr. Charlton's going to shoot you a video. I will shoot it on a Jupyter message by Monday morning. And they can watch it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever they have time, in the morning, at night. Because, again, everybody's life is hectic. And I can't expect that everybody can sit down from 8:20 to 9 o'clock to listen to me talk. Plus, it wouldn't even be a good opportunity to ask questions because they only given us 15 minutes. And so if your parents are like, oh, but I gotta ask that, I'll be like, sorry, I gotta move on. Like, that's not fair. So a video, and they can always reach out to me, as you know. I'm available. Text message, email, Jupyter message, those all work. Okay? All right, so let's jump into the assignments this week so you can see what you got to do. Go. Let's take that down. There's beautiful mountain. No, not this one. There we go. Okay, week 5. Okay, college research. So we're gonna start doing some research this week. So last week you should have created that list of 20 schools, and all I'm looking for on that list was just names of schools. That's it, just names of schools that you kind of think you might want to go to. All right, 3 things you gotta get done this week. Those course plans. I've extended the date all the way up till Monday, which is, I think, actually it's not even Monday. Sorry, it's till Tuesday because Monday is a Labor Day. So not Monday the 31st, but Monday what would that be? The 7th is Labor Day. So there's no school on that Monday either. So all this work isn't due until the 8th of September. So you got a little bit more than a week to get it all done. Okay, the study buddy Jupyter message, I've already kind of mentioned that. That's the thing you need to get done by Friday. Please make sure you get that done by Friday. It makes everybody's life so much easier. And then you're gonna research 5 of those 20 schools. So you picked 20 last week, but you're gonna do research on 5 of them. All right, So it breaks down to basically 2 assignments. The first one is this study buddy system. And so the way that it works is I mentioned, what is this study buddy about? The study buddy, if we were all in class together, one of the beautiful things of the AVID program that I like is that you all get to know each other. You have a class where you can actually, when we do tutorials and we do study sessions, you can all talk to each other and say, hey, yeah, I got Anderson too, or I got Salins for that class. Yeah, this is what I did. Oh, you did that? Okay. Oh, I was absent. Can somebody help me with that? Yeah. And we're missing that. That is what this digital learning is truly missing, is students interacting with students. And not that I can recreate that, but I can at least try to help support you with the help of other students in the class. And so what you should have done is sent me a Jupyter message that says, I am willing to be contacted in this way. And so I took all your Jupyter messages. Now it's all whited out here and blocked out. Why? Because I'm going to be posting this video on YouTube, and I don't want to be blasting your personal information on YouTube. So you're not seeing anything on the screen right now. But when you go into the online notebook, you're going to see people's names. You're going to see whether they want you to contact them through email, a phone number, social media. And then in these boxes here, you're going to see their schedule for periods 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. And you probably say, what about period 3? They got us for period 3. So I didn't figure, what's the point? We all know what period 3 class you have. So that's the information you see. And so I've got everybody listed right here that turned in a Jupyter message. So what is your assignment? What I want you to do is look at all the students here and find a student that you feel would be someone to have good contact with. Now, when I say someone that you have good contact with, I don't mean somebody that you think would be a good friend. Maybe it's a friend, that'd be great, but it doesn't have to be. Maybe it's somebody that, has the same U.S. history teacher as you, and you're like, they have Salins just like I do, and I think I'm going to struggle in the class, so I want to reach out to that person. Or maybe they got the same math teacher, the same English teacher, or just anything that you think would be just smart to reach out and say, hey, here's my information, here's your information. In case we need to talk to each other, here's how we can do that. And so I'm asking you to reach out this week. I want you to pick one person. And like I said, you'll see all the info here when you get into the online notebook. But I'm asking you to pick one person, and I want you to reach out to that person, whether it's social media, email, text, whatever it is that they suggested, it's up to you. And then that person is going to send me a Jupyter message that says, hey, so-and-so contacted me for the study buddy. So let me give you an example. So let's say that I'm the student and I'm looking for a study buddy, and I find a study buddy and I go, oh, Victor Moran. Oh, I'd like to be Victor Moran's study buddy. So I see that Victor Moran says, text me at this cell phone number. So what I do is I text Victor Moran and I say, hey, Victor, this is Robert. I'm in your class, and I know we have to do the assignment for AVID where we set up study buddy. Can I have you be my study buddy, or however you want to phrase that? Then Victor Moran will send the teacher a Jupyter message saying, yeah, Robert Charlton got in contact with me to be study buddy. So that way I know that person got contacted because they're the ones sending me a message about you. Does that make sense? So your grade is dependent on the other person sending a Jupyter message to the teacher. So if they seem to blow you off or they're not responding, you need to be a little bit more persistent. Hey, this is me again. I'm letting you know, you need to send that Jupyter message to Mr. Charlton so I can get credit. Like that's what I'm expecting. And that way you'll get to know each other a little bit better. And I know for a fact that contact has been made. Okay? So it's not really hard, but it probably is a little uneasy because not all of us are very comfortable reaching out to people we don't know. But at least the good news is we don't have to have a face-to-face conversation. You can just send them a text and just say who you are and just blame me. Charlton and that assignment with the study buddy thing, can you just send in a message for me? And they'll probably be like, sure. And boom, there you go. You started a conversation. Now you got a study buddy. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If you have questions about it on Wednesday, I'll answer that. Again, you'll see a whole bunch of information here once I take this whiteout off so that you can see it all. All right, the second assignment, the only other assignment this week, is to pick 5 universities. Okay, so from that list of 20 that you made for last week, I want you to just pick 5. It could be 5 that you're like, yeah, I want to go here. Maybe it's just 5 that you're like, yeah, they seem interesting. Maybe I'll just check those 5. You could pick the top 5 schools in the football playoffs last year if you want. You go Alabama, LSU, or who was it? Tennessee, and was it Wisconsin and USC? I don't know. You can pick any 5 you want. How do I know? Pick any 5 schools you want, and you're going to do some research on them. Now, I'm asking you to take notes as you research these schools, because you can take them digitally or you can take them on paper. It's up to you. But as you research these schools, eventually, probably in a couple weeks, you're going to be picking one school, and you're going to be doing a PowerPoint presentation on that one school. And you're going to be writing up all 5 schools in a report. So more work is going to be done with this information in the future, so you should definitely take notes as you go through and find the answers. And so what things am I asking you to research? Okay, so let's just pick a school. Let's just say USC. All right, USC. So I go to USC's website. That's the first section here. I go to USC's website, the website of the actual school, and I just start checking out things like campus life, academics, information for incoming freshmen. Just search their website, check out the pictures, see what the campus looks like, check out all the stuff that their website has. Make some notes about things that you're finding on their website, things you find interesting, things you feel like you should remember, things that, make this school stand out from other schools. And so that you're going to pull information off their website. Then I want you to go on the internet. Okay, so first you're going to go, well, let me guess that is the internet, but I want you to go to Google. Okay, so then you're going to put in these search criteria into a Google search. What I like about USC, and then hit enter. And this is where you're going to get people telling you testimonials about what it was like to go, or why they like to go to USC. And so this gives you kind of the real dirt on things. And then another one is why I chose USC. And then the real interesting one is when people put in what I didn't like about USC. And so why are we doing that? Because here's the thing. If you go to the college website and you just look at their website, they're trying to sell you on their school. So they're not going to tell you any bad stuff. They're not going to tell you how hard it is, or the difficult parts, or if the diversity isn't there, or the dorms suck, or the food's horrible. Like, you're not going to hear that on their website because they're trying to sell you on their school. So you need to go get the real dirt and find out about your school. And Google searches are one way to go do that. And so I want you to do those Google searches and find out what people are saying. Like, for instance, I went to UCSD, and I learned that people were saying, like, UCSD is mostly a science school, which some people thought, it's all science nerds and this and that. But I was like, dude, I'm doing it in the science, so that doesn't bother me. And then it's like, UCSD is not much for like a party school and a nightlife school. Most people are there like working hard and doing it. It's fun, but it's not like a party school at all. And I was like, I don't really care if it's a party school. That's not really for me. I don't like it. But I did notice it's next to the ocean, which I like. I noticed it's in San Diego, which I like. And so you're going to hear the negatives, but the negatives for somebody else may not be the negatives for you. But it's good for you to know those negatives and just understand them. Like if you go to UC Davis, for instance, UC Davis is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It has its own little community around it, but it's not like next to like clubs and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to be living that life. And you might be like, well, who cares? And then you're like, okay, UC Davis sounds great. But somebody who's like, no, man, I want to go party. I want to go do all this stuff, then I probably wouldn't pick UC Davis. But UC Davis is good for skiing. Maybe you like to ski or snowboard, then it would be great for that. So like these are the things you want to learn about your school. All right, so first you're going to check out the website. Then you're going to put in a couple Google searches, find out some quotes and things like that. Write down information that, you can copy and paste it if you'd like. Since these are testimonials, you can copy and paste these into your notes if you're doing digital notes, but write down some information from those searches. Then you're going to go find out about the diversity of the school. And so this may be on their website, this may be something not on their website, but I want you to find out like, what's the breakdown of like, cultural backgrounds, nationalities, religions, language. And you might be surprised. We tend to make these stereotypes that certain schools in certain places are a certain type. For instance, I was really shocked to find that Humboldt University, which was way up in Northern California, actually had a significant Hispanic and Latino population. And I was like, oh, that might be something my students might be interested in. Some students are like, I want to be around like, Hispanics and Latinos, kind of like we are in Chula Vista. That's a very large Hispanic Latino community. And some students might feel like, you know what, I want to get out of here and experience something totally new than Chula Vista. And so they're like, I don't want to go to that school. These are the things you want to find out about your colleges. So check out the diversity, and then 2 things you want to write about the diversity. First, record the diversity, like what's the breakdown of white, Asian, Hispanic, Black, other, all that stuff. And then compare that diversity to what you see here in Chula Vista. Now, if you don't live in Chula Vista, if you live in like TJ, or you live in like Otay or National City, that's fine. Compare the diversity of that school to like your neighborhood, what you're used to growing up in. Because why is that important? Because as you're choosing a school, you need to be aware of it's not just the academics and going to class. If you're living on campus, this is your new life for the next 4 years. And so what a lot of students, even specifically students from Castle Park, have experienced is the culture shock of being in a school like Castle Park, where I think we got something like 80% of all students speak Spanish or know some Spanish. And then you go to college and you might rarely run into somebody else who's Spanish speaking. And so people have actually said, man, I went away to college and I feel like I lost my Spanish. And that may be a big deal to you. For some people, it may not be a big deal for you. That's okay. But I just want you to be aware of what you're walking into when you look at these other colleges and universities, the culture shock that comes with it. Okay, so write down the diversity, and then how is that diversity the same or different than what you're experiencing where you live? And then the last thing, I know it looks large, but it's not, is location. So I want you to go to a Google map or other GPS like a MapQuest or whatever you prefer using and put in the address of the school. And I want you to see the campus through the satellite, but I also want you to see the surrounding area around the campus. Is this campus in a city? Is this campus out in a desert? Is this campus in a forest? Is there a large neighborhood around it, or is there a small neighborhood around it? Just again, to get you the idea of where would I be moving to if I were going to go to this school? And so take down that. If you're doing this digitally, you can copy and paste the map into your Word document. So I probably recommend doing a Word document, but again, if you want to try and work it out on paper, go for it. And then again, compare that location to where you live or Chula Vista so that you get an idea of how it will be different. Let me give you an example. If you went to NYU, which is New York University, you might be like, sweet, okay, have you ever been to a large city? Because New York is pretty large. I went to New York thinking this will be a good experience. The one thing that tripped me out the most being in New York City was when I looked up, I did not see the sky. The only way you can see the sky is if you look straight up, because everywhere else there's just building, 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 building. And being a Southern California boy, that was a little weird to me because I'm used to like just looking up and seeing like blue skies all over the place. Not to mention, it was flipping cold. It was like November, man, and my skin was like, and I was like, man, it's just cold, and I don't have warm clothes like meant for snow, man. I don't do snow. I like it and all, but I don't live in it, so like that would be a whole new experience to go live in New York City. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe you're like, nah, that's cool. But again, check the location on a map and see where is this place, so that you know what you're getting yourself into. And that's pretty much what we want. That's the overarching theme here. Know what you're getting yourself into when you choose your colleges and universities. Okay, so you're going to do those 4 steps for 5 different schools. Take notes on them all for the different schools. What you'll turn into me on Jupiter will just be the notes. And then next week, we will start to write those up in like a report, and then we'll do a PowerPoint presentation on one school after that. Okay? All right. I know a lot going on this week, but I wanted to make sure to explain it all to you. Hopefully this helps you out with what you need to do. Again, I'll see you on Wednesday to answer any of these questions about these topics or anything else. And we'll see you then. All right, catch you later.